Welcome to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to All Things Nursing, where I post clinical vlogs, where I post study vlogs and everything nursing as you're walking this journey with me. So if you're new here, make sure you stick around by subscribing, like this video, and put your notification bell on so you are notified every time I post a video. And if you're old, thank you for always sticking around. So yeah, as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few exam tips, or basically how it is to things you're supposed to put in place in order for you to, prepare for your exams very well. So yeah, tip number one, always find yourself a study buddy. It could be a study buddy or it could be study buddies, depending on what you prefer. I personally believe that it is good to study with someone so that as you are studying and discussing, there's something perhaps the other person might bring to your attention that you may or may not know, as well as just going through question papers together and stuff like that. As you are going to write, like, you are able to pick up or to remember that, oh, my partner was actually talking about this, compared to studying on your own. It is more effective to study with someone than to study on your own. So yeah, tip number two, go through your timetable. So they give you a timetable perhaps 2 weeks earlier or a week earlier. Write down all your subjects and see how many days are in between before the next subject. So you can see these are like some of my subjects that I've wrote down, in fact all the subjects. And then I've also created a calendar, and then I've put let's say today is the 26th, so I've put 26 general nursing the following day, general nursing. So I've like allocated 3 days for each module, and then I've also indicated revision days. Why am I saying have your timetable planned out and have a study timetable for the exam, so that you are able to see how much time do you have in between, and as well as how are you going to organize your notes, how are you going to make sure that you give each and every module enough attention as you can give, because there isn't enough time. Let's say you're writing 3 modules or 3 exams in 1 week. How are you going to do it? So you could say, okay, let's say you're writing on Monday, you're writing on Wednesday and Friday. So you could say Friday, beginning the weekend, you could study for that module that you're writing on Monday. So you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sunday night you're revising for the Monday, and then Monday you're revising for the subject you're writing on Wednesday. So it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Do you follow the planning? And then for Friday you have the Wednesday, the Thursday, and then finally the Friday. It's the only way you are able to really manage and give enough attention and go through as much notes as possible for each module. Tip number 3 is you can never study without going through your old question papers, your old tests. I feel like 98% of the time they take question papers that we have written before, or old questions that we have written either from our test, from the past year, or a previous exam or question paper or so. So make sure you go through old question papers and make sure whatever it is that you missed in your test, or whatever it is that you fail, you master it. Don't leave anything unattended. If you didn't get 100% in the test, go through every question and make sure you know every answer to it. It doesn't matter, you could have written 10 tests, that's fine, that's great. They could have questioned you for every topic, that's great, even better, so that whatever comes in, you're not surprised. Or if you see the question again, your brain doesn't blank out and be like, oh my god, I know this question, but I can't remember the answer. Do you get it? There isn't enough time sometimes to read everything. So how you can cover every topic is by going through questions for that particular topic. Because I know most lecturers or most teachers, they question you on maybe 3 topics at once, or 4 topics at once, or 1 topic throughout the year. And so you have a test for almost each and every topic covered in that syllabus or in that module. So you see, it's not, you won't have enough time to go through everything. So when you tackle questions, it's giving you an idea really of when you meet this question, or you meet a similar question, how to go about it, because sometimes you won't have, enough time. So don't neglect going through your old question papers. Don't neglect going through your test papers. That's why I said it is very important to have a study buddy, so that you guys can discuss and go through, the things that you have to do together. And who knows, you can even come up with flashcards. You can come up with ways in which you can remember how to, remember the answers and all that. So yeah, tip number 4, don't neglect. I feel like every tip I keep saying don't neglect, but really, really don't neglect YouTube. Girl, boy, trust me. Sometimes, in fact, all the time, we don't have enough time to go through everything. But trust me, you go on YouTube, you type microbiology, or you type stages of labor, or you type pneumonia or something, and just that 10-minute lecture or that 10-minute explanation can really save you 200 slides, of a folder, or 200 pages of a book. So as you are watching YouTube videos, they are already, if you type pneumonia or something, majority of them are already summarized into the most important things you're supposed to know. Let's take pneumonia. Pneumonia, for example, definitely they'll summarize into the definition, they'll summarize into the, etiology, they'll summarize it into symptoms and signs, clinical symptoms and signs, they'll summarize it into the treatment, they'll summarize it into the nursing interventions, they'll summarize it into all that. And just, don't neglect definitely making use of your YouTube. Study by watching videos. That way also you are able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because as you are reading your summary notes, you are also, making time to watch videos. And you gotta know, which I feel like is my next tip, you gotta know what type of learner you are. Are you a visual learner? Are you a, auditory learner? Or are you a, vocal learner? What do I mean by vocal? Perhaps you're the type that requires to read things out loud. That's the way it sticks in your mind. Do you get it? Or perhaps when you see different colored images, I'm like that. When I see different colored images, that's why I have so many colored pencils and stuff, so I can, make different colors in my notes, because it helps me remember that, oh no, this part I had a green, it was about perhaps the route of infection or something like that. Or this is red, then I know that this is blood. Or perhaps this is arteries if it's blue, or that kind of thing. You get the picture. So yeah, you gotta figure out what type of learner are you. Do you get it? What type of learner are you? Are you also a short-term memory? Are you a long-term memory? What do I mean by that? Are you able to study, let's say your exams are next month, and you're able to study 3 months in advance without forgetting, or you're the type that you need to study a little bit closer to the exam date. That way you're able to, learn or remember the things. So you gotta really, really figure out what type of learner you are. So you need to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what type of learner am I? What type of a person am I? How do I let things stick in my brain, or how do I memorize things? Do you get what I'm saying? So that way it can really help you, and it can make you focus. It can make you not waste time, which you don't really have, and as well as it can make you really, really organized and to know already, these are my methods, these are my tactics, and you're going in full force. So yeah, I hope these tips were helpful. These are some of the tips that I have really, really put into place, and are really, helping me become that A student, become that distinction, student, because nursing school is a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of burnout. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of everything. But we can't afford to fail. You get it? We can't afford to slack. We can't afford to not have good grades, because people's life depends on us. So we have to cover every topic. We have to know interventions. We have to know treatments. We have to know everything. So it's really, really important you put in the work now. You know, as there's a quote that I like to tell myself, that I rather suffer now and enjoy later. So suffer now and enjoy later. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful. If perhaps there is any new tip that you'd like to share, please share it in the comment section below, so someone else can be blessed, someone else can, you know, be helped by your tip. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you guys best.